the object of hate is like the top of a weed, right? So if you have, if you like consider, like everybody has, or most people have, not everyone, many people have probably a top 3 list of people that come into their mind and they think about in a negative way. Like that person's a fucking prick. Some people have lists of like hundreds, but I'm going to guess that a lot of people have 3 recurring characters in their mind that when those people pop in, there's usually a negative feeling, or there's like, I've noticed certain people have a person they like to bring up in conversation, like, blah 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 did that again, that thing, right? And I know I've been
me too.
So
gossipy shit,
and usually there's like one sort of character, the symbol for all bad things. But if you follow that character down, like if you look deeper into that character, don't the roots of that thing always lead to a kind of undigestible thing inside of yourself?
Absolutely.
Where you're identical to that person, but you can't accept the fact that you have those.
Where you're identical, that's interesting. So you're basically hating yourself?
Oh, yeah.
You're hating on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good, like you're attacking a person, but the reason you're attacking them is because you embody that exact quality that you're attacking.
Exactly.
And you don't know it though.
Yeah. You can't accept it, right? You don't know it. You do kind of know it. That's why meditation is great, right? Because if you spend just a little bit of time sitting still, and this is another cool thing I like about this idea is that all of a sudden it turns all of these symbolic entities in your head that you loathe and despise into X marks the spot on the treasure map, where it's like, oh, dig there. Because if you dig in those spots, it's like giving Nancy Grace a map of a forest where toddlers are buried, and how happy that would make her. She would be out there every day with the cameras digging up a new toddler corpse. In the same way you dig down into those X's where your enemies in your mind exist, or your nemesis, or people you think are bad, and you always will find that it's like, oh, not only it's like I'm that person, but I'm angry at the person in the external world because they're less subtle than I am, and
here's the thing too, is I heard that our ego always needs something to hate and to fight. We always, our ego, in order to survive, our ego, which seems to run 99.9% of the planet, ego instead of the real self, and people who listen to your podcast, I think, will know what I'm talking about. And if they don't, I think right now they should go kill it. No, no, our ego needs enemies, because if our ego doesn't have enemies, it's got nothing. In other words, we think we're quote unquote great or special because there are other people who aren't. We can only think we are great or special in comparison.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's it, for sure. Yeah.
And that's why we attack others, so we can feel good about ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if we don't attack others, then we have to just sit there and go, I've got a lot of issues with things. Like really face the truth of it. In other words, by attacking others, here's the crux of it. By attacking others, you don't have to face the truth about yourself.
Yeah, that's it. It keeps you and
right?
Yeah, I think so. And your attack on the others, or your mental attack, because usually most people are not overtly attacking a person, and maybe they are doing it anonymously through Twitter, through Yelp reviews or whatever. But ultimately, it's like an anonymous. But really, when you consider just the neurological framework for an enemy, it means that somewhere in your brain on the molecular level is some kind of chemical pattern which represents whoever the person is that you think did you wrong. You are literally, it's like a little, in the circuitry of your mind, there is a circuit or two that your mind has sewn together or plugged in, which it's a representational neurological corollary for a thing that exists in the external universe. So you are literally hating yourself in the sense that that particular reflection that's been captured chemically in your brain is a reflection in your own brain. And that sector of your brain that is meshed or formed the image of the thing that you hate most in the world, you are literally hating that sector of your own brain.